In general, we know what Veno's capable of, right? That people don't really put the respect on Clix's name that he kind of deserves.
I think this is Clix's best chance at winning an FNCS. Yeah. Let's be real.
Clix needs someone to bitch him, I feel like, you know?
Can we talk about Clicks? Can we talk about Clicks and Veno? Because I did start off by saying let's talk about Clicks and Veno, and you guys just turned it into a whole general NA combo. Let's talk about Clicks and Veno. Clicks and Veno.
Clicks and Veno landing at the revamped or changed Snooty Steps into Sandy Steps. It's that landing spot. It's weird because it got buffed and nerfed, obviously less loot, but now you're probably going to end up taking it as one full POI. Plus, you've got the Slurp Cacti nearby. The rotations are going to be good with the, fiery rings or nitro holes, whatever you want to call them. And I feel like for them, this duo seems to me like they're going to gel really well. I know Veno, there's all the stuff on Twitter. It's like, which FNCSs did Veno IGL? Which one did he not IGL? But in general, we know what Veno's capable of, right? You don't win 6 out of, as we said last week, 6 out of 8 games technically in the grand finals, and you're not still capable of winning it, a year later. You are still top level. And as we saw from Clix, and I think surprisingly, Clix gets a lot of disrespect, in my opinion. He didn't, like last season, not last season, season 1, Chapter 5, season 1, he was the best player in Grands. He just had the best numbers. He was performing insanely well, and he was clutching up a lot of moments for them. And I feel like that people don't really put the respect on Clix's name that he kind of deserves, in my opinion. And I think him with Veno landing a spot like Sandy Sets, which looks like there's no real good NA teams now. Obviously, Center's now left as well. It doesn't feel like they're going to have many troubles qualifying to LAN.
I think also on that, firstly, I think this is Clix's best chance at winning an FNCS. Yeah. Let's be real. Like, this is not Veno's best chance at winning an FNCS, but this is Clix's best chance at winning an FNCS. And one of the things that actually makes me really interested about this duo in particular is when they were at the Global Championships, I think it was Bucky was saying that, you have all the Fortnite millionaires there all around in a group. And he was like, Clix is the only one out of us who actually cares about being here. And he's the one that's, wants to practice in the room. He's the one that actually wants to grind. Like, there's clearly, obviously, Clix is a massive social personality, but there's clearly like a competitive drive there that's much stronger than a lot of the other players. And I think hopefully teaming up with Veno, like, you will see an actual crazy grind and maybe like a massive performance out of these two. I would definitely think this is one of their best chances to play. And let's be real, this is the best teammate Clix will ever get. Ever. There was nothing that will beat this ever.
It's also potential's last dance, apparently.
I think that's bullshit.
Like, whose last dance? Who said
Clix's.
Clix.
He's Clix. Apparently, it's Clix's last. We have that clip every single season.
He's trying to add more hype. He's trying to give he's trying to juice the storyline a bit. It's definitely not his last. I think the big thing with Clix and Veno that is clearly going to be a challenge for them is just the adaptation of playstyle. From the scrims I was watching yesterday, Clix just doesn't know how to play how Veno wants to play. Just straight up, he just doesn't know how to. And so there is so much to learn. Instant concern becomes, will Clix put in enough time and effort to learn what he needs to learn? My instant response to that would be, I don't know. Like, he's going to have to play scrims off stream. And he's acknowledged that, like, if I'm going to learn how to play this way, like, I need to play scrims off stream. Is he going to do that? Who knows? Again, early on, it's been that way. Like, I know he's been waking up to even play some EU scrims at time, right? Yeah. It seems initially right now, there is that motivation to put in that effort. But even with that being said, even with him putting in the effort, like, your first FNCS playing a whole new way, come grand finals time, like, again, it's just going to be tough. I think Veno himself is going to have to make some considerations of, he's going to have to try and strike a balance of playing the way he wants to play, but also understanding he has to play to Clix's strengths. It's why it feels a bit bittersweet when you say, Reese, that this is his best chance to win FNCS, because I think when you look at it on paper, yes, but I also don't think it's his best chance because this is like the one FNCS where like his mind is going to be almost the foggiest of any he's played, because he's constantly he's like having to think too much while he plays, right? Like, the style that like Veno wants to play, when we see it with a lot of Blood X teams with like Cami and Seti, in the past with Clix and Veno, Tace and a bunch as well. Like those guys, when they play that way, like they don't really do much thinking. Like they get it, right? There's certain things that they don't have to think about. Clix is gonna have to actively be like thinking when he's playing. And it's funny because there was a moment yesterday in scrims, right, where they're playing Storm, right, because that's something that, you know, these guys like to do a bunch. Clicks didn't know the medkit timing and had the medkit just died.
I saw this.
Like,
he popped a mini before the medkit and just died.
And he just dies. And it's like, it was like the most drony moment ever. But I understood it because it's like he's thinking about so much other things right now that he's never had to think about while playing like a comp Fortnite game. And so like that like distraction makes him milk in a different way, you know? It's probably part of why Archie ended up being like how Archie was, because he had all these like really smart people telling him how to play the game. But it's like it's an information overload, and then he forgets how to place a ramp. You know,
you're saying you know, there's too much going on in Archie's head. There's too many thoughts in there.
Yeah, not all good thoughts though. Probably not all good thoughts. But like you know, on a smaller scale, Clix is going to be experiencing that a lot, and I think there'll be a lot of times this season where they play and Clix probably just straight up milks. And then how does he handle that mentally, right? Does he get frustrated and just, oh, okay, no, I can't be, I don't want to do this. Oh, I don't want to play this. Does he look and read the chat, and the chat telling him, bro, like Veno doesn't know what he's doing, bro, this, that, and you know, this will have, as crazy as it sounds to us, like I could already see seeds and signs of that, right, from his community, because you know how strong Clix's community is. So I don't think it'll be as easy and straightforward. I definitely am rooting for them, and I think there's huge potential there if they can make it work.
I agree.
If Clix just onboards everything, it'll be great.
Yeah, I think you're missing a crucial factor here, though, is that Veno solos that whole shit region. So
that is true. That is true.
Actually, what is all of this analysis? What is the point of this? How good is Clix? Irrelevant in this conversation.
I mean, the fun part about it is that Clix needs someone to bitch him. I feel like, you know, like Epic World was not alpha enough for Clix. Like the IGLing back when they played together, it ended up obviously relying a lot on BloodX when they ended up playing together. Like Veno is hard bodying Clix right now. He's like, okay, you do this, you farm this, you do that, and it's obviously because they're in the learning stages, and you know he has to learn a little bit more. But it's nice to have you know, don't let Clix think and let him just do what he does best and get kills, and you know focus on doing that. And I think that it's gonna be good for them, although potentially they may have been fucked by the wrong meta. You know, like I know Veno at the start said to Clix, like, we're just gonna full send height every game because NA doesn't look at height. They're being conditioned by Peterbot and Pollo. But this is one of those seasons where, you know, height is a shit show. It's not gonna be as easy to play height. Mid ground's not gonna be easy. You can be the best team in the lobby, you just get unlucky because you know teams are running into your box. So they might play perfect Fortnite in the mate game. It might go well that way, but it's a very orangey type of season to where maybe the results don't actually show the skill that they actually have.
And I think part of the problem as well of what you say, Boop, is that yes, Clix needs that idea that one can bitch him and two just allows him to just do no thinking and just kill. But Veno isn't that type of IGL, right? Like if Clix is going to play that way, he needs like maybe like an Acorn where the style that they're trying to play is simpler. Like there's a lot more white liners, a lot more, we're just going to edge into zone and then you just kill. Whereas like, at least from what I saw and from what I know about how Veno likes to play, like Clix is going to have to do a lot of thinking still. Like it's not going to be as simple for him as just like follow the leader and then just like hold your gun out, you know, which again could end up, you know, being problematic for them. So yeah, we'll see.
On that other point as well, for people that don't know, he is currently right now playing EU scrims, I believe. So,
nice.
You know, that's 2 days in a row now that he's woken up for the early EU scrims. So EU scrims start at 3 p.m. local time, which is currently, I think, 8 a.m. Dallas time.
Yes,
so he's up for that. I think he's going to be playing the Noble X session after this as well. So he seems committed. And the good thing about it as well is like it's a short period until FNCS starts. So like you don't have to like grind for a full month where there's nothing happening. It's a 2-week grind. Lock your head in and then see what you can get. And you know, if it's motivated me to watch NA now. Like that's 100%. Like all
If anything, the structure of this season, as like crap as it is for most people, it probably works for them because, like you said, they don't have to wait for long to FNCS starts, and then during FNCS you have like a big break that will be good time for them to like learn and like figure out more things and like for them to input more things for Clix to get to ready for grand finals. So yeah, might not be too bad for them.
I just want to ask, like, what is your prediction for them? Like, where do you think they're going to place on NA?
I think they're a top 10 team, like guaranteed in my eyes. That's how I like. It's always
Just
hard to
like
predict
just
things, but,
10th, or are you saying like top 5? Is it just
like, what was Clix's like placement in Major 1? Was it like
Fourth.
5th or 4th? It was 4th.
Fourth is the best ever placement, I believe. Yeah.
I think they're like getting like 5th place this season.
Okay.
Like I think they'll be in and around that like area of 5th place, maybe like a 6th, maybe a 4th again, and he matches his best placement. But that's sort of where I see them at.
okay? Boop and Reese, what are your thoughts?
I already told you Veno solo clutching that shit, man. Of course we're winning. Like,
Yeah,
No.
what happens when he runs into another EU team? They're like, then he can't.
I mean, they're only half
Unstoppable
EU.
force.
Yeah, it's only
They're
half
half
EU.
good, half shit. So.
Or the Polish.
Oh,
And there's not that many. And
yeah, Polish guys can't fight.
Yeah,
So.
of course,
he's
yeah.
like the only
Yeah.
EU fragger that's moved.
Yeah.
On. Everyone else.
Yeah, he's moving. Everyone else is IGLs and stuff, so they'll be in good positions with their
Doesn't
shit
really
teammates.
count.
So it's like a total free 1v2 regardless. I would say, yeah, I think top 10 is I think like if they don't qualify globals, that would be shocking.
Yeah.
I think then the question is more how good do they get into the top 10? You know, I think top 5 is probably valid. You know, there's only like 5 good teams in NA. I think the real question is how good do like the other EU teams do as well.
I'm
Because,
coaching you bias, by the way, and every single podcast, you find
Reese
one minute
always
and
has-
it's
Yeah, he
Yeah,
slips it
yeah.
in there.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
Reese is
also-
actually the most biased of everyone.
Reese
I
said
know,
there's
I
only
just speak facts. So
I appreciate it.
True.
I absolutely appreciate
yeah,
it.
I'm not biased. I just
Yeah.
think NA is shit. Like
You-
those are two different things, you know.
You also lied because you said there's only 5 good teams in NA. Now there's a lot more because all the
Well,
EU guys
okay,
coming.
sorry,
Obviously,
but
right?
now,
5 good
yeah,
players.
Well, now there's good 5 teams.
Yeah, that was a good 5 teams before. It was
Yeah. Before there was like 2,
Yeah.
you know.
So for me, I would like if we were coming in of like Katana season Veno when I think he was like at his peak prime, I think I would bet like a top 2 or top 3. But like, you know, Veno's also coming in with not like the greatest last season performance and previous seasons as well, right? He's being grinded, but he's not at a level where it's like, okay, he's the big one right now. So yeah, at 5th or 6th, I think would be an appropriate spot to put them at. But a lot can also go wrong. You know, there's the good teams that have called LAN all landing at the broken spots, which already makes you automatically be out of contention for like top 2 or top 3 when you're landing snooty steps, which feels very mediocre other than having forecast hour. So we'll see what happens when they get conned potentially. You know, there's teams looking at it also for spots.
So for me, I wonder how much for the teams who have qualified, and you know, we've got Saudi coming up with the ESL. I wonder how many of those teams are like going to take this season. It's not like a break, but focus on ESL, focus on the game modes, and you know, for the teams already qualified, like. Then it makes it so there might be a couple extra placements of Veno and Clicks game because the teams who are qualified don't care as much, right? So for me, I would, if Veno can get to the level he was, or even close to the level he was before, I see no reason why they can't be top 3. I see no reason why that. I think Clicks in season 1 was good enough to win Grands, in my opinion. And I do also think that if Veno can get back to the form that we know he can get to, then I see no reason why they can't be top 3.
Is Veno not in his form though? Like I don't know.
We can't compare.
placements
I
wise,
don't know
it's hard
if
to
you,
tell.
yeah, like I don't know if you can say that's down to him individually or down to the fact that him as his team didn't mesh with him and Tayson well.
But
It was blaming
that's the same thing that comes into grand finals. It doesn't matter how you know, it's more about your meta region, about how you play Surge. And
Yeah, but
that.
we're defining this as like
You're talking
he's
about
not
his
in his
individual
prime.
level, yeah.
All right, sorry. So I say
And-
grand finals level at the moment, like as in how he's playing in grand
Yeah.
finals, like
And,
meta
like,
reads.
I didn't watch him much last season, I will say, but the season before that, when they were whoever it was 10th or 15th, some shit like that. Like I watched a lot more of his individual performances, even just in like solos and some of them, like, and he looked still there was no
He's
difference.
still the killing machine.
Yeah,
that we know.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't necessarily we can just say that. It just seemed like that duo as a full just did not blend well together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. I was more coming at it not as in like when I said like form, I was more thinking as in like grand finals. You know, like,
Yeah.
We have now had, is it 4? So it's obviously didn't qualify 9th in globals and then 15th or 15th. Well, they got last season 11th. So now that's
11th.
11th,
yeah. That's not like, you know, the
100%.
Veno, which is, you know,
It's not a Veno we know in terms of placements, but like you
Yeah.
said, a lot of that I think can be accounted for, you know, the teammate situation, some bad meta reads in some sense, right? I think in terms of individual level as as a fighter and confidence, I think he's still, you know, as good, maybe not as good as he was this time last year during that Katana season, but I think he's still sort of where he needs to be. Plus, he's going to be playing on 0 ping now, right? Like he's going to be, you know, obviously he had London ping already, which is decent, but it's not the same 0 ping. So yeah, I think they'll look pretty good.
Top three. I have faith. Not in faith, like they should. I just think they're in a good position to do well.
Just because Veno's not playing with Queasy. That's
I was about to say.
He didn't even play with him the past 2 seasons. But no, yeah, it'll be like they're the most exciting team to watch this season, I think, by a mile. Yo, if you enjoyed that video, make sure to click the link in the top right here. You can check out the full podcast where we waffle a little bit more about competitive Fortnite. And if you do enjoy it, make sure to subscribe as well.